A and B final for the women's 100 breaststroke, men's 100 breaststroke B and A final, followed by the women's 50 breaststroke. That's around about 8:36. So we do crack the finals in as much as we possibly can. And then we will carry on with the men's 50 breaststroke, followed by some relays, the mixed 100, 4x100 freestyle, with Singaporean interest for both mixed and men. And then the medal presentations coming around about 7:15 tonight. So, yesterday, Yip Pin Xiu was able to give us a world record. Can we expect anything similar today?
I think looking at the way things are going, we could come really, really close to some people breaking or coming close to their world records. Holding on to hope for some of the 50-meter breaststroke, for sure. They look really close, and if all things work out, they could get a new world record.
We have local interest, 2 Singaporeans, including Pin Xiu, in the A finals, and there's Singaporean interest in 2 of the 3 B finals as well as in the mixed relay. So for local fans, there is interest, and there is also, if you'd like to come down and have a little look at the live venues, $10 on Cystic for tickets for each day, and I promise you it is international quality. Women's 400-meter freestyle. The woman to look for here, Sarah Vargas Blanco. Already, the Colombian has won 2 gold medals in this meet, but Gabriela Smith and Lily Fox-Mason will give her a tough time. And also delighted to see that Tong Jin Swan made it through to the final for Singapore, although it would be a real surprise if Jing Swan were to make it onto the podium at the end of this women's 400 freestyle final.
Definitely. I think they did really, really well in the morning heats. We have our Chinese in lane 7, who's currently ranked 3rd in the world.
Okay, we'll get the individual racers, the individual swimmers introduced to us by the pool announcers.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is event number 112, the women's 400-meter freestyle A final.
And lane number 1 from Singapore, make some noise for Tong Jin Swan.
A time of 6:35.22 for Jing Swan. Her first final and the World Series events. That'll be a good experience for her.
Really young swimmer, and I'm sure she'll be really pleased.
Just 16 years of age, Jing Swan. Alina Sinelnikova from Kazakhstan will be alongside her in lane 2. An S13 swimmer had a time of 6:16.13 earlier on today. Now, the individual introduction of the swimmers, it really makes this a final, doesn't it? It adds a certain gravitas to the occasion.
It really, really puts the focus on all of them, which they duly deserve.
Focus already on this woman. Already won 2 gold medals. She'll be starting in lane 3, an S6 competitor. 5:54.05 was her qualification time.
Posted a really high point this morning, and she's currently with her timing ranked 7th in the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, representing New Zealand in lane number 4, we have Gabriela Smith.
Gabriela Smith won her individual heat this morning and will be in lane 4. She broke the 5-minute barrier. And we're expecting her to touch the wall first once again. But whether or not it's good enough to take gold, we will see on the points count back. And her compatriot, Lily Fox-Mason, has already been on a podium in this World Series. Not so much here in Singapore, but she, in Australia, she was on the podium. An S8 classified competitor, Zhu from China. She's also another with a best time just outside the 6-minute mark.
Yes, I think all of them will aim to go under what they went for heats.
Wang Xinyi taken to her place at lane number 7. The Chinese woman, 20 years of age. And squeezing into the final from Mongolia, Noman Kurel, another 17-year-old. There's a lot of youthful teenagers coming through, and we're seeing that in the World Series.
They're all so young. But I also think it's really interesting to see how many of them come out with headphones on, trying to block out all the noise.
So our interest on this young lady, Tong Jingxuan, who will be starting in lane number 1, having made it to her first World Series final. The battle, we suspect, though, between lanes 3, 4 and 5. It's 400-meter freestyle, 8 lengths of the pool. This is the women's class S6 to 14 final. Long time under the water for Gabriella Smith, and the New Zealander comes out with a nice, smooth stroke on this near side in lane 7. Wang Xinyi, an S11 swimmer. She started off well, but immediately we're seeing the V formation. Lanes 4, 5 and 3 are just beginning to pull away from the rest over this first 50 meters.
We were just talking about whether this allocation of lanes was on purpose, whether it's because the faster swimmer gets any advantage, and the thing is, they don't. It's all psychological.
Well, the psychology is working just at the moment as Gabriella Smith turned in a very respectable 33.65. The danger in 400, Teresa, you can go out too quickly, but we saw these girls this morning. They were very, very close for the first 300, and then Gabriella Smith was able to motor away over the last 100 to take the heat relatively comfortable.
Yeah, I think we've seen many examples of how they've gone out too fast and just could not maintain that speed, but these two are definitely very used to pacing each other in training for sure.
They'll turn almost identically at 1:10.50 and 1:10.70. Smith just has the lead. She's the girl in lane 4. You can just physically see the lead is there. She's on the left of your screen as we look, and this duo have got a lead of about 15 meters over lane number 3, Sarah Vargas Blanco. But Sarah Vargas is an S6 competitor, and the points will be accumulating so long as she can keep within a certain range. She has certainly got a chance of another podium position, Sarah Vargas Blanco.
I think the two New Zealand swimmers have something really special. You know, you get to train against a competitor. Something that most of us in our para-swimming groups don't get to really experience most of the time.
It is notable, though, that Gabriella Smith has a better turn off the wall, gets better under the water, and then Lily Fox-Mason is having to work hard on the rest of the length to try and claw back the deficit. They were literally finger close, finger licking good. As they come to 200 meters, the midway point, and it is Gabriella Smith who just has that lead, but Lily Fox-Mason will turn within a second. They turn 1:26.80 and 1:27.57. Jingxuan has just gone through 1:50 in a time of 2:20.97.
I can't really see the disabilities too clearly, but I think Gabriella has clearly a little bit of impairment on the upper limb. Not too sure about Mason Lily Fox. I think that just shows the difference, you know, when it comes to turns, how important the legs are.
Yeah, I think Gabriella Smith has the stronger leg push, and it's obvious to see as she turns now. And it's a significant difference. It gives her an extra 2, maybe 3 meters under the water.
Something her teammate can work on.
And the split time there was 3:10.39. As they come through 300 meters, the lead now is a good 3 meters for Gabriella Smith. Our attention very much on them. Sarah Vargas Blanco has just started her run towards the 300-meter mark. 3:35.87 for her.
Gabriella Smith just powering, starting that power through. You can see her legs start to kick a lot more splashes can be seen.
That's exactly what she did in the heats this morning as well. In the final 100, she was able to use the word perfectly there, Teresa, power away.
Exactly.
Clawing at the air. In third place still, as Gabriella Smith makes her turn at 3:50, making her turn at 300, is Sarah Vargas Blanco. Gabriela is going to turn in a significant lead. 1:21.75. Lily Fox-Mason is 5 seconds down now. So I think first to touch will be Gabriela Smith, which is exactly what we were expecting. But then she's just going to have to wait in the water to see if her points accumulation is going to be enough.
We shall see if she can better her heat timing of 4:59.28.
Gabriela Smith just touches now, and that's 762 points for Gabriela. 4:58.18.
Just a second faster than her heat timing.
So then Sarah Vargas will be the next one in our attention. She's in third place, just around about 15 meters through. Our focus will be with Gabriela Smith, but she has to wait and wonder and hope and see if the swim machine that is Sarah Vargas Blanco is able to work through. Sarah Vargas in lane 3. Sarah Vargas Blanco over on the far side. I tell you what, she is going to be mighty close. She's on 8:45 points. She really is trying to power in Sarah Vargas Blanco. Will it be enough for Sarah? Oh, it's going to be tight. 762 points, identical point scoring.
That's not something you see every day. That's a high.
Wow, that is magnificent from Sarah. And she worked really, really hard there. So an equal first between Gabriela Smith, who touched first, and Sarah Vargas Blanco, who is still gasping for air. Finishing now is Tong Jing Swan. She's just coming into the final 5 meters at the top of the pool, and she will accumulate points here. 66 points, good experience to get herself in the first final.
And a much better time than this morning. But that is something you don't see very often. A tie for first place.
Tie for first place, fantastic. Still in the pool is Mongolia's Noman Kurel. She's coming down now into her final 50 meters. She won't be in the top 3, but she will have the self-satisfaction of maybe trying to post a fast time. Individually, if she can post inside 8 minutes, this will be a result for her.
I think she looks set to beat her morning time.
That's all you can ask of a swimmer. Do your best, improve session upon session.
That's my motto. Always be better than you were yesterday.
Kurel works through, working the upper shoulders. She looks very, very tired. That is a long, long way. 400 meters freestyle. And Noman Kurel finishes and touches in a time of 7:37. That is very impressive.
That's over 20 seconds off her morning time. She will be pleased with that.
Gabriela Smith, though, co-winner. 762 points with Sarah Vargas Blanco. So for once, the Colombian doesn't have it all her own way, but she still has it her way.
It's still gold. But there's nowhere else you will see this. A tie for gold, but they didn't touch at the same time. Something special.
Here are the highlights of the women's 400-meter freestyle final. And Gabriela Smith, she had company from Lily Fox-Mason for the best part of 250 meters. And then she was able to power away, and she touched home in a very impressive time of 4:58.18. And then she just had to wait for that young lady. Sarah Vargas Blanco, a 5:49.97, accumulating 762 points, and joint gold for the Colombian and the Kiwi. Lily Fox-Mason, a very creditable P3 and a bronze medal for her. 7th place in her first World Series final for Singapore's Tong Jing Swan.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next event, 113, it's the men's 400-meter freestyle B final.
B final for the men's 400 meters. Singaporean interest in lane number 3 for Darren Chan.
In lane number 2,
But we'll be introducing them one by one. Gary Pagino of the Philippines. Alongside Pagino will be Rino Saputra, who won his heat earlier on this morning. S9 classification. And then Darren Chan, that was the cheers you heard from the crowd.
That's the sound of a home crowd right there. Darren hyping himself up for his race.
Alongside him is a lad who's made it over the border, Dawan Fredan from Malaysia in lane 4. He's the fastest in terms of the pool on 5:01.07. Alongside him is Steven Swalang from Indonesia. Then Arnel Abba from the Philippines, an S9 category swimmer, 5:25.77. Himanshu Nandal from India, an S11 swimmer.
A reminder that the S11 swimmers have the tappers to tell them when they're touching the wall.
Those highly sophisticated pieces of machinery.
I could never buy them anywhere.
The tennis ball and a stick. And Sardar in lane 8 for Uzbekistan. Bakhtiarov giving his full nomenclature. Right, B final. Classes S6 to S14, all represented. Again, 8 lengths of the pool. Good dive from Darren Chan, and Darren Chan is the first to emerge in an early lead. If I remember this morning, he went off very quickly as well and faded quite significantly after 200 meters. But this time,
it seems a little bit more controlled.
It does seem a lot more controlled, doesn't it?
Definitely had a good feedback session with his coach, I'm sure.
Swalong inside of him, and Darren Chan from Singapore will turn in first place. And he's posted a first lap of 31.05. Quite right, he was inside 30 seconds if I recall, or just on 30 seconds, so he's slowed things down by a good second. It does look more controlled.
Definitely, by a mile. I hope this means that he's able to post a much better time than this morning. He has the second highest number of points for the heats.
Well, he's going to turn in P1, and his split time of 1:07.24 will be just under 4 seconds clear of Dawan Fredan and Swalang. So it's very much an ASEAN battle for P3, 4 and 5. Darren is still looking nice and composed.
400 is definitely not an easy race to swim. Control is sometimes hard to have, especially when you're so excited to just race.
So his first 50 meters was 1:01. He's 1:45.35 through 1:50. And his lead is just being snicked away. And the stroke rate is slowing from Darren as we come into midpoint.
People often underestimate just how hard it is to control, you know, how much you put into a lap and how much to give for the next lap and the next lap. It's all about control, and it's a lot of training that goes into it.
Plus the adrenaline that he'll get, the adrenaline surge. When his name was announced, there was a big surge in the crowd, and he's got to control that. But his lead is there at 200 meters, but the lead, which was at one stage 5 seconds, has been whittled down to just 2 seconds, and Dawan Fredan and Swalang are now very, very close into his wake. But he's still looking controlled, Darren, and no matter where he finishes, I think he's learned some lessons from the heats into the finals this afternoon.
And we just had Darren's coach walk past us with his laptop, looking very, very, very focused.
But did he look happy or did he look glum?
He looks uncertain.
Darren is still going to be leading through 250. There's Darren, 3:03.28, just half a second clear of Dawan Fredan. And Dawan is also just beginning to fatigue a little bit. The breathing is still looking controlled though. In P3 we have got Swalang. In P4 Arnel Abba has just turned 3:23.63.
All athletes looking a little tired, but I think they're due to start speeding up anytime now.
So into the final 100. At 300, the turn is at 3:41.89. Darren Chan has been leading from the very first dive. At the moment, it's almost fingertip stuff, but he's still looking good there and ready, perhaps, if he's been able to save something for the final stanza, Teresa Go.
He looks like he's sped up his leg kicking just a little bit. You know, in these moments, you kind of feel like it's a computer game and you just want to get them to go faster.
Darren's an S14 swimmer, Dawan an S10 competitor, and it will be Dawan who just turns in first for the very first time, although the split time is just 400ths clear. A good bounce off the wall for Darren Chan, and it looks like he's got a surge of energy, and the Singaporean may well be urged home in this B final of the 400. 25 meters to go. Darren Chan, is he able just to keep the leg kick going? He's under pressure from Dawan. His coach is urgently urging him on, but Dawan is able to just increase his stroke speed, and Dawan and Darren Chan working a final sprint for the line from Darren Chan, and touches first. 580 points for Darren. That is the leader in the B final, and he is a happy fella.
That is an amazing improvement from the morning heats.
He and his coach, who's just going in front of us, a big punch, thrilled to bits.
Just about 11 seconds off his morning heat time. I'm sure he's more than happy, and him and his coach.
And as we look at the other swimmers coming through, lane number 6 has just finished. That's 267 points. Over on the far side, lane number 1, which is Gary Pagino. He's just going to come through. Gary Pagino has got a chance to take this one. And Gary Pagino, 653 points, is the new winner of this B final. Nonetheless, well done for Darren Chan. Wasn't able to quite clinch it. 653 points for Gary Pagino. It was a fine win for the Filipino. A time of 5:43.67.
Nonetheless, still all amazing races here today at the OCBC Aquatic Centre.
But it will be second place in this B final. I was getting a bit excited. I was thinking it was a podium, but it's the B final, isn't it? But it's a B podium.
It's still a win. It's still second place. And an amazing time. Improvement from the morning heats, for sure.
I think that's the most impressive thing, isn't it? The control right from the very first, from the first dive to the first length to the first emergence, and the control that he showed right the way through from the first 50 in the first turn.
For sure. Being able to see the improvements that he's made just from morning to now is just speaking for what more to us to expect in the future.
So you put a big marker on your back there, Darren. That's the bad news. The good news is it's very, very encouraging.
This is Yip Pin Xiu's brother and sister-in-law on the screen.
Right with the sister, finding out where the camera was. Here are the highlights of a thrilling B final. The man in lane 3 is the man that we were really very much focused on, Darren Chan from Singapore. He was leading by 5 seconds at 100. It was down to 3 seconds at 200. It was level pegging when they turned into 300, but he was able to hold on to touch first. A real good acceleration right at the end from Darren Teresa. And then he had to wait for Gary Pagino to work his way through to pick up the points in a time of 5:43.67. So a Philippines victory in the B final. But real kudos for Darren Chan for picking up P2. As we are just about to confirm, 653 points, 580 points gives Darren plenty to work with. The time inside 5 minutes. Dawan Freedom, good battle there, good cross-causeway battle. Dawan can be proud of his evening's work as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is event number 113, the men's 400-meter freestyle A final.
Right, the A final, 400 meters. Athletes being introduced lane by lane. Japan's Uchu Tomita, an SC11 swimmer. 42 years of age, 43 years of age, Uchu.
He's currently ranked second in the world for his classification in this event.
Entry time of 4:50.49.
Ladies and gentlemen, in lane number 2, representing Malaysia, we have Brian Lau.
The familiar red swimming cap for Brian Lau. It's easy to pick out in the pool. And normally he's at the front end of any competition. He's had a good series here. He's had a good season all over the Malaysian.
And in lane number 3, also representing Malaysia, make some noise for Yip Pin Xiu.
And there'll be some domestic rivalry there as well, particularly as they're lane by lane. We saw in the women's 400, the two New Zealanders, they swam stroke for the first 250 meters. Is it possible that Ethan and Brian Lau will use the teamwork?
In number 4, representing Japan, we have Genki Saito.
Genki Saito posted a time of 4:31.93. Genki is an S13 competitor.
And in lane number 5, representing Chinese Taipei, make some noise for
Shimin Swan from Chinese Taipei. He and Genki Saito went very close in the heats earlier on this morning.
In lane number 6,
He and Ethan posted the same high points of 811 in the morning.
That was the first split decision that we had. This is Soong from Uzbekistan, who faded a lot, having made a very, very good start in his heat. Ogiwara, 21 years of age, an S8 competitor, Ogiwara.
And in lane number 8, we have representing Philippines, Fermi
Gawilan. Keep an eye on Gawilan. He certainly won't be the first to touch, but he, because of his classification as S7, could be an outside bet for one of the podium places.
Posted the second highest points, 822 points, so definitely someone we're going to look out for.
So while our focus, I'm sure, will be on 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and maybe Ogiwara in 7, we'll also keep a very close eye on lane 8, Ernie Gawilan. Men's 400-meter final, 8 lengths of the pool. Citi Para World Series Singapore, and as expected, it's a fast start. Over on the far side, the red hat of Brian Lau. Of Ethan Koo is there. Brian Lau also there, but leading the way in lanes number 6, as he did in the heats this morning. Yellow cap of Turksun Hujayev from Uzbekistan, and it will be the Uzbek who will turn first. Remember that lovely languid long stroke from this morning. I did expect him to be able to power through in the last 100 meters, but he seemed to fade a little bit.
The strokes definitely look super fluid, very nice to watch.
In lane 3, Ethan Koo is the man who's just edging ahead, but there's 4 in a line as they come through, and Ernie Gawilan out of the picture at the very bottom of your screen, but Ernie is not being dropped at all. A very, very fast stroke from Ernie.
You can't really see it, but Ernie has to compensate, for not being able to have to kick with his fast and not as lengthy arm strokes.
Well, there he is at the very bottom of your screen. Just out of picture. But he's just made his turn now. In the meantime, Ethan Koo is still leading the way. He's got a lot of company. Genki Saito in lane 4 in the black hat. The white hat of Shimin Swan. And Tursun Jayev. That languid stroke as they go through 150 in a time of 1:37.26. This is pretty impressive. Thunder rains round outside in appreciation of the efforts of the swimmers.
It's just the sky cheering us on.
It certainly is. And quite right, they might do too. Right then, Shimin Swan, he takes a fingertip lead from Genki Saito. We're focusing on lane 4 and 5. Off the picture, just outside, I can tell you, Ernie Gawilan is not too far behind. He's probably, 20 meters behind, and as the first three make their turns in a time of 2:11.94 for Saito, who turned first.
Definitely not too far behind, you know, considering he is the lowest classification in these finals, S7.
So Gawalan turned to 2:29.88. Ethan Koo is still very much part of that leading trio. He's got the yellow cap, but the first turn will be, well, very close, almost identical times between Saito in the black cap and Min Swan from Chinese Taipei in the white cap. But again, touching the wall first at the end of the race is not necessarily what wins you the race. It's the points accumulation, combination of time multiplied by your classification via an algorithm, which is way beyond me.
Same. But definitely they have to wait a little before they can celebrate their win.
We're through 300 meters now, and a good strong turn there from Genki Saito. He will turn in 3:20.82. Less than 2 seconds separating 1 from 3, but Ethan Koo is just being dropped as they go into this final 100. And Sun Kujayev is in P4. Over on the far side, Uchu Tomita. We shouldn't forget about Uchu Tomita, an S11 category swimmer in lane number 1. But it's his compatriot from Japan who is co-leader coming into the final 50 meters. They turn almost identically. Min Swan, though, got a better release from the wall, and Min Swan is accelerating away. That's a powerful burst, but Saito is able to respond, or is he? Long stroke from Shi Min Swan of Chinese Taipei. He's got half a body length as the lead, 15 meters to go. And I think it's going to be Min Swan who will touch first. Saito will touch second, but then it's down to the points calculation. Min Swan touches 868 points for him. That is very, very good. 827 for Ethan Koo. That also is good. He's in P2. Now our attention will turn to lane number 6, where we've got a new race winner, Uchu Tomita from Japan. I was focused on this near lane where Ernie Gawalan was, but Tomita, who is in the world's best, he has got himself a gold medal with a time of 4:39.82. 6th place to touch, but when you calculate the points, 910 points to Rizago.
So close to his world record, I think, to the world record.
Our next event coming up is event number
Uchu Tomita.
the women's 50-meter backstroke.
That's showing the youngsters what it's all about.
The Japanese swimmer showing why he's second in the world.
Well, he came through, we mentioned him briefly. But 910 points, 868 points for Shi Min Xiu, 828 for Ogiwara, a point ahead of Ethan Koo. So Malaysia's Ethan Koo will be very frustrated to miss out by a single point from a place on the podium.
It definitely hits different when it's a point compared to a second.
There is the man who led the way through in lane 5. Time inside 4:30. Very, very respectable. At any calculation, Genki, he touched home, and Genki only accumulating 722 points, so despite being really in the win at the front of the race, he only comes in P7. So, Uchu Tomita, 910 points to take gold. Shi Min Swan from Chinese Taipei, silver. And Kotaro Ogiwara from Japan, 828 points, a point ahead of Ethan Koo.
And our first 900 pointer of the night.
Women's 50-meter backstroke A finals.
Women's 50-meter backstroke A final.
And in lane number 1, representing China, make some noise for Feng Yaju.
31-year-old Feng Yaju from China. An S3 classification for her disability.
Feng Yatsu got up a class in these games, so she was previously an S2.
The athletes at the left-hand side of the pool as we look to our camera and commentary position.
In lane number 2, representing Malaysia, we have Brenda Amelia Larry.
Brenda Larry won a medal yesterday and is in a final today. 18 years of age, Brenda. Will be looking to try to beat the minute mark. That's her entry time, 58.12.
And in lane number 3, representing Greece, make some noise for Alexandra Stramatopoulou.
Stramatopoulou from Greece, the only Greek competitor in the women's competition. 21 nations are represented at this Citi Para Swimming World Series in Singapore.
In lane number 4, representing Spain, we have Teresa Perales.
Your old sparring partner.
Yes, she got down class, so she was an S5 like me, now she's an S3. But I've heard that she also got reclassified again and she's now an S2. But it's not official yet.
Born in 1975, Teresa Perales.
And in lane number 5, representing the Philippines, make some noise for Angel May Autumn.
Angel May Autumn picked herself up a bronze medal yesterday with an excellent swim. An S5 competitor, 20 years of age, 46.58 her qualification time.
Japan, we have Maori Yui.
Maori Yui from Japan.
A good mix of different ages here. Some of really young, some of them have been veterans in the sport.
Glad you used the word veterans. I thought you were going to say really old, and
I try to catch myself because I'm really old.
And in lane number 7, representing Singapore, make some noise for Yip Pin Xiu.
Yip
Because Yip Pin Xiu hits a new world record.
Pin Xiu set a world record yesterday. What kind of mood is she in today, Teresa?
I think she's raring to go even further today. She's the current world record holder for this event in S2, and she's of course ranked first in the world right now with her timing. So we can expect some fast times and high points from Pin Xiu.
59.38 is world record time. So if she's inside 1 minute, there'll be an almighty cheer. And as the thunder comes down, we are already hearing the gods giving us a cheer.
You just have to compete with the thunder.
Yip Pin Xiu will be in lane number 7. 7 competitors in this final. Pin Xiu just making her way through to the starting position. Women's 50-meter backstroke final. One length of the pool. Classifications S2, 3, 4 and 5 all involved in this, and leading the way very quickly is Angel May Autumn from the Philippines. We're also seeing Yip Maori.
You can see just a different amount of stroke rates for all the different swimmers. We once nicknamed Pin Xiu the helicopter, just because of the way she swims. You can see why it looks like one.
Right, Angel May Autumn is going to post a very quick time. This is going to be interesting. Angel May Autumn accumulates 994 points. Right then, 994 is the target to beat. Over in lane number 3, they won't get there first, but let's see if Yip Pin Xiu is able to equal it. Yip Pin Xiu in lane 7 comes through, and Yip Pin Xiu is in second place, 884 points. So it will be a medal, but not the colour gold for Yip Pin Xiu. Making their way through in lane number 1 is Feng Yaozu from China. She'll touch now in a time of 1:25.18, way outside her personal best. Teresa Perales will be the last to finish, but she is still working very hard, Teresa. Struggling just a little bit, Teresa. She tries to get through the final touch. Looks like it's taken her toll on Teresa Perales, but she touches now.
She's recently just been unable to use one of her arms, so not too sure what happened there, but you can see that it's greatly affected her swimming.
Angel May Othom, though, at the moment, gold medal for the Philippines. Added to her bronze yesterday, and this has been a very, very nice trip over to Singapore. Great for her confidence.
For such a young swimmer, I think this will definitely be a boost in her future.
Here are the highlights. Angel May right from the very start. Teresa Perales was struggling right from the very start, but immense core strength from Angel May. Touches the touchpad, which is very sensitive.
I'm glad the touchpad is a little bit padded for all these swimmers who have to touch with their heads.
Angel May Othom, 994 points. That's a fabulous points accumulation. Yip Pin Xiu couldn't repeat yesterday's golden world record, but nonetheless, it's another medal to add to her huge, huge collection. Congratulations to Pin Xiu and to Angel May Othom. Men's 50 backstroke.
Representing Vietnam, makes some noise for Yip
Van Yip from Vietnam, an S4 classification. Again, it's one length the pool, so he has to go over to the far side from where he's being introduced. Has a good look at the crowd here at the OCBC Aquatic Centre.
Soak in the atmosphere.
In lane number 2, also representing Vietnam, we have Tan Trung Nguyen.
Tan Trung, one of 4 Vietnamese entrants in this 50 backstroke A final, classes S1 to S5. Tan Trung has got a best time, a qualification entry time, 46.88.
And in lane number 3, also representing Vietnam, makes some noise for Tan Tung Vo.
Tan Tung, it's almost a domestic national championships for Vietnam over on the far side of the pool. We'll keep an eye on that.
But this is where the high points start to come in. 841 in the heats, coming up with the Japanese swimmer.
Yeah, Eigo Tanaka.
Representing Japan, we have Eigo Tanaka.
He went under the radar just a little bit this morning, but he won't go under the radar today, promise you. Nor will his compatriot, Kaede Hinata. These two train together and are very close in their timings as well.
And in lane number 5, from Japan, makes some noise for Kaede Hinata.
Qualification time 41.40. Tanaka's 40.13. So expect that to be a real good battle.
It's a very classic kind of comparison when you're talking about swimmers who can use either the upper or lower bodies.
Representing New Zealand, Cameron Leslie.
Cameron Leslie, you told us to keep an eye on Cameron earlier on this morning. I ignored you, and guess what he did? Cameron Leslie came through and made it through to the final.
Do you see what ignoring me does? He's currently ranked first in his classification.
And in lane number 7, from Malaysia, makes some noise for Lee Tai Ke.
Zika, he's been a busy boy these last 2 days. He's in the 200 yesterday, he's in the backstroke final today.
In lane number 8, representing Vietnam, we have
Hoa Dan from Vietnam. So 4 Vietnamese in the 8 finalists.
Mix of S4s and S5s. Some of them will be using only their lower bodies and some will be only their upper bodies.
Hoa Dan, 35 years of age. As you can see, seats available. And there's more competition going on tomorrow, on Monday. Public holiday, so make your way down to the OCBC Aquatic Centre.
Your last chance to come and watch some world-class para-swimming.
$10, everyone, $10. waiting for the wheelchairs to be cleared from the back of the pool, and then all the swimmers will get in, ready for the start. World record pace is 40.99. 40.99.
For Cameron Leslie, we'll see how close he can get to his world record time.
We're underway in the men's 50-metre backstroke final, classes S1 through S5. And a long time under the water in lane 4 for Eigo Tanaka. In Hinata, we expected them to be dominating, but also alongside them in lane 6, Cameron Leslie. But it's the two Japanese who are leading the way. Inside the Japanese, you've got Fo Tan-tung in lane number 3. A great use of the upper body, and this is a terrific fight back here from Hinata. Hinata and Tanaka are going as closely as we expect them to do. They're going to come through. Who is going to touch first? The Japanese are absolutely close to each other. 906 to 892. Cameron Leslie will touch home in first place. 962 points for Cameron Leslie. So the New Zealander hips the two Japanese swimmers exactly as a certain Teresa Go predicted.
If only I had bet on it. That's a great swim by Cameron Leslie. Cut down his timing from the heats and just got a little bit closer to that world record timing.
Finishing up in P8 will be Padan from Vietnam. Vietnam 4, 5, 7 and 8 in the final analysis. But the magical victory for New Zealand, for Cameron Leslie. Just having a look, his time 42.86. Wasn't close to challenging the world record, but nonetheless it's a gold in the World Series for Cameron Leslie. And he's an affable chap off the pool. No doubt that smile that he carries off the pool will be a broad grin when it comes to the medal ceremony later on tonight.
The New Zealanders are all super friendly. Okay, I mentioned I had a training camp with them a couple years ago. One of the best training camps I've ever had.
In New Zealand? In
New Zealand.
South Island?
Yeah. Where's South Island?
Whereabouts?
I think we went to Christchurch.
Okay,
yeah.
So South Island. Okay, beautiful party.
It was really nice.
But there is Cameron Leslie. Big thumbs up from him, because Cameron Leslie has taken gold with a 962 points, 42.86. Tanaka and Hinata, they were very, very close. 0.4 of a second between them. Well, 0.35 between them. And their personal duel, I suspect, will go on all this season. Women's 100-meter breaststroke B list, or B final. And we have got Sophie Soong of Singapore for domestic interest in lane number 3. Sophie breaking 130. We'll be looking to try to get that down, I suspect, to the 125 mark.
Posted a little bit of a faster time in the last World Para Series for Sophie. So she'll be trying to get just a little faster today.
Natarine in lane number 6 for Thailand. Impressed yesterday. She picked up a bronze medal. Chung Ho-ying from Hong Kong, China. Also
in lane number 1, representing Hong Kong, China, make some noise for Lau Chu Yi.
Lau Chu Yi again will have a target of 130.
Huge representation by the S14s.
Breaststroke final SB8 category for Zhu Hui. Go on, Sophie, smile.
It's really hard when you're on the block.
Representing Hong Kong, China, we have Ho-ying Chung.
Good swimmer, Ho-ying Chung. Hong Kong swimmer, 20 years of age.
And in lane number 5, from Chinese Taipei, make some noise for Tung Yi Yan.
Yi Yan came on very, very strong in the last 50 in this morning's heats.
And in lane number 6, representing Thailand, we have Natarine Kachongwatha.
Natarine, a 132.11. She'll be trying to post inside 130.
Hong Kong, China, make some noise for Cheong Siu Kei.
The third Hong Kong athlete, the 21-year-old Cheong Siu Kei in lane 7.
Representing China, we have
And the slowest in terms of times for the B final, making her way through, is Jiang from China. Two lengths of the pool for this women's 100-meter breaststroke final. The B category. And all eyes on Sophie Soong. 26 years of age, Sophie. Nice high leap from Sophie Soong. And she emerges underwater in first place through the first 15 meters. She's got company alongside Ho Ying. She'll try to keep alongside Ho Ying, but look at Tung Yian in the blue cap for Chinese Taipei. The blue cap of Yian is leading the way, and Sophie, after a good start, has just been gobbled up by the rest of the pack, but it's going to be Yian who will lead coming into the end of the first 50. Sophie Soong keeping the stroke rate up just at the top of your screen there in the black cap. Yian turns the time 39.59. Second place for Ho Ying from Hong Kong in 40.96. Sophie Soong 43.11. Fourth place for Sophie. And she's doing well just to cling on to the coattails of Ho Ying inside of her. But this is Chinese Taipei's Tung Yian. Not being able to get too far away from Ho Ying. And Natarine is beginning to make a move as well in lane number 6, although, tell you what, Sophie Soong in lane number 3 is going to touch the tape third or fourth. She's got Lao Chi Yi inside of her. But touching the wall first will be Chinese Taipei's Yian, 816 points for her. 661 points for Sophie. In first place, 816 is going to be enough for Tung Yian to take victory in this B final. That's a good effort, I tell you what. Sophie Soong, it's not far away from being a top 3 position.
Definitely, I think she looked a lot more confident, I think, in the water, and it looks much smoother than the morning swim.
For the coaches, that I think will be the lesson to take away in the improvement from the morning to the afternoon sessions today for the Singaporean swimmers. You can see in lane number 3, she was first to emerge. In P4 at the turn, was able to recover to finish in P3, but the points count back mean that Sophie Soong will finish 7th. 661 points though, just 30 points behind Hui Zhu, who finished in 4th place. But Yian Tung from Chinese Taipei, 816 points, a clear winner of this B final, and Hong Kong in 2 and 3.
And she looked really powerful throughout her swim.
Yian.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is event number 116, the women's 100-meter breaststroke A finals.
Looking forward to this 100-meter breaststroke final. 4 Japanese competitors. It's a strong team they've sent. Mikuni Utsugi, a 129.63 swimmer.
Currently ranked 5th in the world. All the swimmers posted above 800 points from the heats.
It's impressive, wasn't it, this morning?
It was really good.
Representing Indonesia, we have Suci Indrani.
Indrani will try to end Indonesia's podium drought at this Para-Swimming World Series. It would be an upset, but you can see SB14 swimmer, 124 best time.
And in lane number 3, representing Japan, makes up noise for Aira Kinoshita.
Kinoshita, really look out for her. SB14 swimmer, 17 years of age, 121.25.
Also representing Japan, we have Nikita Serizawa.
Nikita Serizawa posted the fastest time in the heats this morning. That's why she's in lane 4.
Also had the highest points for this morning. And she's currently ranked second in the world.
And in lane number 5, representing Hong Kong, China, makes up noise for Chan Yu Lai.
Chan Wei Lam, very strong Hong Kong contingent here. Chan looks the glamorous part.
She and Nikika had only a point apart from each other.
Gabriella Smith, fine swim this morning from the young New Zealander, another 17-year-old.
And in lane number 7, from Japan, makes some noise for Kanon Fukuda.
The fourth of the Japanese competitors, Kanon Fukuda. Again, an SB8 swimmer. Keep a close eye on her.
And in lane number 8, representing Hong Kong, China, we have
And Chuk Yam in lane 8. Slowest swimmer in the pool, but an SB6 competitor. So again, one of those athletes that won't be at the front when the leaders touch, but her points count back could well make her a dangerous competitor.
And 13 years of age this year?
Yeah, 13.
That's young.
Yeah, I had to look at that. 2010, oh no, that can't be right. But there,
I'm sure it's a typo.
There she is, 13 years young. Women's 100-meter breaststroke, a final, 2 lengths of the pool. Going through 15, and the early leader is Ira Kinoshita. But there's 4 women really going abreast. Indriani up with the pace as well, the Indonesian. Alongside her, we've got Kinoshita, Serizawa, and Chan Wei Lam in lane number 5. And it is the 2 Japanese girls in lanes 4 and 5 who are just setting the pace. Serizawa is probably going to turn first. Makika Serizawa will turn in a time of 36.53, a full second clear of Chan Wei Lam. Kinoshita, another half a second down. All those races are SB14, so they are not necessarily the ones to look for when it comes to the final medals table. But they'll work hard on it.
Keeping a really good tempo to their race, to the swim.
Serizawa under pressure from Kinoshita on her inside. Kinoshita on the right, Serizawa on the left. Serizawa is there, but also look out for Chan Wei Lam, who's making a late surge to get the touch first. And these are going to be high point scoring, Teresa Go. The touch comes in at 965 points, P1. 965 at the moment for Serizawa. But let's look at Eung down in lane number 1. Eung Chuk Yan. Eung Chuk Yan is going to be able to touch home. Oh, just couldn't get there. 955 points, but it's a medal for the Hong Kong swimmer Eung Chuk Yan. And the 13-year-old will be going home with bronze.
Just enough to squeeze into the podium. But those are some fast times and really high points on the board.
Mika Serizawa, though, as you say, very, very fast time. 965 points, so 118.38. 3 swimmers inside 119. That was a fine race in its own right. And then the effort and the focus, a brilliant effort coming through from Eung Chuk Yan in lane 8 at 136.04, which is nearly 2 seconds faster than her entry time.
Truly, truly a great swim by everybody, all well above 800 points again.
So Serizawa for Japan makes her trip to Singapore worthwhile. 965 points, just ahead of Kinoshita. That's as close as the race was, but only 10 points separating, only 11 points separating 1 from 4. Eung Chuk Yan, a brilliant performance in P3.
This is event number 117, the men's 100-meter breaststroke B finals.
Men's 100-meter breaststroke. Singaporean interest in lane 4 through Colin Soong.
Representing Chinese Taipei, makes some noise for Chen Jiacheng.
Jiacheng from Chinese Taipei, SB14 competitor.
Representing Japan, we have Shunya Murakami.
Murakami from Japan, one of 2 Japanese.
Number 3, representing Malaysia, makes some noise for Brian Lau.
Second appearance in the finals this evening for Brian Lau.
And lane number 4, representing Singapore, we have Colin Soong.
Looks very focused as Colin.
And in lane number 5, representing the Philippines, makes a noise for
AJ Alagarbes from the Philippines in lane 5.
Representing Japan, we have Akito Minai.
21-year-old Minai, second Japanese competitor.
Number 7, representing Hong Kong, China, makes some noise for Soong.
Medalist yesterday.
And in lane number 8, representing Malaysia, we have Abdul Halim Muhammad.
And a very, very chilled Abdul Halim from Malaysia. An SB8 competitor, so although he's got the slowest time, again, if he has a particularly good day, he could well cause an upset here. Men's 100-meter breaststroke final, classes SB 4 to 9, SB 11 to 14.
Colin had a bit of a classification change, so I think he'll be pleased to make the B final still.
Colin Soong in lane 4 is up very early into his stroke. This is interesting because in lane number 6 you've got Akito Minai, the Japanese, who was up later, but it's lane number 5, AJ Alagarbes from the Philippines, who's got a good stroke, and Colin Soong is going stroke for stroke with him. It's encouraging for the Singaporean. This is the B final in the men's 100, and they will turn closely, and it's going to be AJ who turns, I think, first, gets the touch. AJ Alagarbes, 33.96. Colin Soong in second, 34.32, just 4/10 down. Behind them, Brian Lau on the near side of the pool, though. There's a real threat coming in from Mohammed Abdul Halim. Now, Abdul Halim certainly comes into reckoning in a moment. Alagarbes and Colin Soong are going stroke for stroke. In lane 4, Colin Soong looks like he might be able to get the touch first, and the crowd are really cheering it home. So for Colin Soong, he will touch, I think, first, but how many points is it worth? Colin Soong, 728, it's 5th point, but the Filipino AJ Alagarbes, although he touches second, picks up 800 points, and he will take the win in this B final of the breaststroke. But great effort from Colin Soong to actually touch first ahead of AJ, having been trailing in P2 at the turn 2 years ago. Again, great work.
That was a great swim. I think you can see the last burst at the end really gave him a much better timing than he otherwise would have.
728 points.
Just a slightly better time also than the morning swim.
And what do we keep saying? You improve morning to evening. And yes, you'd like a medal, but you've got to prove. There he is, Colin Soong turns in P2. AJ Alagarbes would be beaten to the touch, but Alagarbes would accumulate 800 plus points, or 800 exactly points, to take the overall victory, and a good result for AJ. Confirmation. Sun Lock Jung, sorry, from Hong Kong, just ahead of Chunya Murakami, and again, very, very competitive.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are continuing with event number 117, the men's 100-meter breaststroke A finals.
And in lane number 1, representing Colombia, makes some noise for Nelson Corzo.
Nelson Corzo picked up 2 bronze medals in the pool yesterday. Looking to perhaps go one better, an SB6 classification for the Colombian.
Even though he is in the first lane, he posted the highest number of points.
Indeed. Look out for Corzo.
And currently is, with his timing, ranked first in his class.
And in lane number 2, representing New Zealand, we have Joshua Wilmer.
Josh Wilmer, SB8 classification for Josh, a 1:16.15 swim time.
The 4th ranked swimmer in his class will be looking to go below 1:16 for sure, get higher up in the ranks.
And in lane number 3, representing Uzbekistan, makes some noise for Ferdasbek Musabekov.
Musabekov, he went out very quickly in his heat. We'll keep an eye out for Musabekov. I think he's one of those guys who likes to lead from the front. And it's the battle of the stands, because alongside him, is the man who was fastest in all of the heats. Zumugali from Kazakhstan. And again, there'll be some regional pride for those two to slug it out amongst each other.
And in lane number 5, representing Japan, make some noise for Naohide Yamaguchi.
23-year-old Naohide Yamaguchi, an SB14 classification, entry time of 107.05.
Definitely want to look out for his rank first in this class.
Adib Iqbal from over the causeway. A 1:11.58 for Adib.
And in lane number 7, representing Colombia, make some noise for Carlos Daniel Serrano Zarate.
He is currently the world record holder for his classification and also ranked first in his class for this event.
And then lane number 8, representing also Colombia, we have Moises Garcia.
This is your pal, isn't it, Moises? You've been in the same competition, same pool as him many a time.
Yes, a very hard-working swimmer. He's also getting along in age, but not slowing down at all.
We'll keep an eye out at Fuentes Garcia. An SB4 category, so he will finish way behind the others. But if he can get off to a good start and get a decent turn in, you never know, he could be an outsider. But certainly look at all three of the Colombians. Corzo in lane 1, Zarate in lane 7, Moises Garcia in lane 8. Not ignoring the others. Strong, fast start off the blocks. And it will be indeed Zumugali who has got the lead, although Zumugali has got Yamaguchi very close to him. And Moises Garcia is making his way down the pool and isn't too far away.
Moises not getting as high as the other swimmers, but with his body type, his disability, he's trying to be as flat against the water as possible, not trying to create any drag.
Leader turns inside 30 seconds. Yamaguchi, a 29.8 for Yamaguchi, a 30.29 for Zumugali, who was the early leader, but Yamaguchi has got a good rhythm going here. Just turning now, I can tell you, it's Moises Garcia. We need to keep a close eye on Moises Garcia, but Yamaguchi is the lad who is leading the way. 15 to go. Yamaguchi, good stroke, but there's a brilliant effort from Zumugali. Zumugali is coming back hard in this last 10 meters, and Zumugali and Yamaguchi, it's going to be close. The point goes to Zumugali by 1:04.37, 500ths ahead of Yamaguchi. But Yamaguchi at 1,000 points and Zarate 1,067 points. And now we look at Fuentes Garcia. 1,067 points for Zarate. Is going to take the gold medal, a third gold for Colombia, a third gold for Zarate. Moises Garcia comes through. He will pick up 881 points, but our second 1,000-pointer of this competition.
2,000 pointers in one event. Wow.
Carlos Zarate, third gold medal. Magnificent. Corzo, a world record. Garcia, a world record. In their particular disciplines. My word, that's fabulous. Of course, there's something in the water in Colombia at the moment that is making these fellas go very quick.
I told you it's the coffee.
You did. Zumugali led the way. Yamaguchi, 1,024 points for Yamaguchi. That is fantastic for him. But then Corzo on the far side in lane number 1, a world record for him. A 1:18.16, a world record for Moises Garcia. And a gold medal for Carlos Daniel Zarate.
That's 0.6 off the world record for Nelson Corzo. Moises could be an error because
it does look, yeah.
So we just stay with us as we clarify that.
So the world record, just to be clear, it's in the classification.
Yes,
of course,
because they're all based on what classification they all swim under. And
Right, there's only one world record confirmed. So Garcia is not a world record, but Nelson Crispin Corzo, a world record for Corzo in the SB6 classification. Bronze medal for him here, 992 points. But look at that, 2,000 pointers. Yamaguchi will be devastated to have not been able to take gold. But Zarate is by far the standout star of this World Series event.
Still nothing to sneeze about. Those are really good times, and 1,000 points, what can you ask? What more can you ask for?
Make some noise for Teresa Perales.
Women's 50-meter breaststroke final, class SP1 to SP3. Teresa, as we saw, she struggled earlier on. The doughty competitor, though she is, she'll be taking her place in this final, the Spaniard.
The very different swimmer from the competitor I swam against in Rio and many other Paralympic Games.
And number 4, representing China, we have Yip Pin
Xiu, the youngster of this particular race.
She's currently ranked 5th in her classification in this event.
29 years of age, Pang.
And in lead number 5, representing Greece, make some noise for Alexandra Stamatopoulou.
Stamatopoulou, 36 years and very happy to be here. That's a lovely beaming smile from Stamatopoulou, the Greek competitor.
Also a very familiar face. I've been in many competitions with Alexandra before and can vouch for her amazing spirit.
Women's 50-meter breaststroke final. This is the final. One length of the pool. We're looking for the athletes to get times as close to the 1 minute as possible. That would be an exceptional time. That would be a world record smashing time. But if they're able to get 1:05 inside 1:10, that would be plenty. Perales, Peng, Stamatopoulou.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, this is event number
Peng
1.
struggling to get away from the wall.
And we have competitors in the pool from Spain, China, and Greece.
The early lead inside this first 10 meters or so is Alexandra Stamatopoulou. Let's see if Peng is able to get a little bit of momentum going.
All very different strokes. Alexandra going a little bit fuller in her strokes, and you can see Peng is just doing really shallow pools just at above the surface, around the surface of the water. And Teresa is doing her best, trying to do a one-handed back breaststroke, and it's not easy, I can tell you that.
That is remarkable strength from Teresa Perales, the Spaniard, over on the far side. She's wearing the black cap, the veteran. The pink cap for Alexandra Stamatopoulou from Greece. She looks like she's got just a little bit of rhythm going now. 3 strokes under the water. And then a breath to the right. There's the short strokes of Yip Pin Xiu. Did look like they were going to be effective, but she's actually lost ground. And what a fabulous effort by Teresa Perales over on the far side. Teresa, single-handed, must be energy-sapping.
Absolutely, I can tell you that this shows just how important it is to not rush your strokes. My coach has always vouched for effective strokes.
Well, she is going to still be in with a chance. She's level pegging with Peng Yip Pin. I think Stamatopoulou is likely to cross or touch first. She's tiring desperately coming into these final stretches, and look at this, Teresa Perales has actually single-handed managed to get herself into the lead, and Teresa Perales, go, touches first.
Incredible effort.
Incredible effort indeed.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen, this was event number 118.
Talk about willpower, talk about desire to get there first. Teresa Perales, congratulations, oldest woman out there, SB2 category.
speaks to her years of experience and just the kind of athlete she is.
Well done to Peng and to Stramatepoulou. Stramatepoulou didn't pick up any points. So the medals will be handed out to Perales and Peng when we have the presentations a bit later on tonight. Let's just have a look at the highlights and look at the woman in lane 3, single-handed stroke. In third place at one stage, she was 3 or 4 meters adrift, and then just as she came into the final 10, she said, "Okay, competitive spirit, kick in now."
Never too late, and it definitely gave her the boost that she needed to win the race.
Wonderful effort. And admiration on Teresa Goh's face as well. You know exactly how hard that work is.
Definitely. I think I know just how hard she works. And I can imagine it must be difficult also to be downclassed after years of being in a higher classification.
2:04.62, just outside the 2 minutes. Now on to the men's 50-meter breaststroke final.
The men's 50-meter breaststroke A finals.
Two competitors.
Representing Japan, make some noise for Takayuki Suzuki.
Currently the 4th ranked in his classification, same age as me, but he's definitely an amazing swimmer. I've known him for many years as well. He's gonna post some good times, I believe, on this final.
Close to a record, potentially?
Potentially, I think he's about 2 seconds off the world record, so who's to say?
Van Hiep Ha from Vietnam. Both these finalists are SB3 classification.
Both have in the same class, so they have to chase after that world record of 46.49 seconds.
The clappers are out. Crowd is building up again, though. You're very welcome to join us, particularly with May Day around the corner. Nothing to prevent you getting up early in the morning to watch the heats. Right, so 2 athletes. Takayuki Suzuki from Japan in lane 4. He's in the black cap and the white cap of Van Hiep. World record pace is 46.1.
Takayuki getting that early start. Just keeping really buoyant in the water, actually. Really short, fast strokes, but you can see he's making great headway. Pushing forward, and he's moving really, really well.
Well, he's through 25 meters in 23 seconds, so 46.1 isn't out of the question. It would be an exceptional finish. 15 meters to go for Takayuki Suzuki. Let's have a look at the points that he accumulates. We've already had 2,000 pointers this morning. He's just going to be outside the 1,000 points. He's just going to be outside the 46.1 he needs, but he's going to take this with a very respectable time of 50.69 and 818 points, and Ha Van Hiep will come through for Vietnam. Final 5 meters. Working really hard, Ha Van Hiep, and he will touch and accumulate 226 points for a time of 107.55. Well done, Takayuki Suzuki. Got off to a very bright start at 50 meters. It looked encouraging, but fatigue kicked in.
Definitely. I think also just seeing his strokes were really quick, very fast, and just couldn't get enough to get to that world record time today.
It was that quick start for Suzuki. From then, there was no doubt that he was going to touch first. It was all a case of how close he could get to this morning's time and how close could he get to any record time, but in the end, unable to hold on, but taking the victory, and will take gold medal later on. Good day in the pool for Japan. Confirmation of that result, Takayuki Suzuki, 818 points for the Japanese. Time just outside 50 seconds. Ha Van Hiep Second place, 266 points.
Still a time to be pleased about.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at event number 120, the mixed 4x100-meter freestyle relay A finals.
Now onto the relays, which is always good fun.
We have Team Singapore. Make some noise for Benson Tan, Darren Chan, Daniel Moore, and Nicole Fu.
It's the mixed finals, S14. All of the athletes, Benson Tan and Darren Chan. The males, Daniel Moy, Nicole Fu. The women, then it depends on strategy, where you think you can finish. They've got an entry time of 4:39.89. That'll be the target to beat.
The teams can choose who goes first, and it doesn't have to be in a particular order.
We have Shunya Murakami, Mikiko Serizawa, Ira Kinoshita, and Naogiri Yamaguchi.
Serizawa and Kinoshita went neck and neck in the final just a few minutes ago, so they've quickly got to get themselves better. Yamaguchi and Murakami also being in finals action this morning.
We've got a team from Hong Kong, China. Now make some noise for our athletes. We got Hong Yun Wong, Samuel Chu, Ho Yun Chang, and Sui Kei Chiang.
It looks like it's just going to be kind of a tight race between the Japanese team and the Hong Kong team.
Yeah, if we look at the timings for the entry, just 3 seconds separating them. Japan, though, they've dominated all the relays so far. Hong Kong fans in front of our commentary box, making themselves very much heard and waving to their compatriots who are now belatedly waving back. But that's the Singapore contingent in our shot, and Singapore contingent have got their own colourful spectator support. That's the Hong Kong quartet. Han Yin, Samuel Chu, Chung Ho Ying, and Chong Siu Kei. So then, tactics. Do you go boy, girl, boy, girl, 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 boy, boy?
What would you do at home? We've seen many examples of people changing tactics and not having the same like boy, girl, and hasn't seemed to work out so far.
Murakami will be the lead-off swimmer for Japan. Singapore, the white hat. Benson Tan for Singapore. Goes very, very deep and immediately loses a lot of ground, Benson Tan. But it's Hong Kong with Wong Hon Yin, who has got into the lead, and Murakami's got a lot of work to do. 4x100-meter freestyle, 2 lengths of the pool for each of the 4 athletes. And the first turn will be Hong Kong in the lead. Hong Kong with Wong Hon Yin, and the turn is 26.47, which is a full second clear of Japan's Shunya Murakami. Benson Tan has turned in 30.63, a lot of work for Singapore to do.
Really fast swimming going on, and I think a lot of splashes. People, they're all trying to get in front.
Indeed, long strokes, and this is a good work there from Wong Hon Yin, and he will hand over quite a big lead into competitor number 2, which is Samuel Choi.
For those who are not familiar with the relays, your previous swimmer has to touch before you can leave the block.
Darren Chan is in the pool for Singapore. He's got a lot of work to do. Now then, Japan have gone with boy, girl, girl, boy, and Serizawa is the one who's got to stay close to the tail of Samuel Choi.
Darren trying to close in the gap.
Darren has closed the gap. It's 5 seconds, though, the differential between P1 and P2. And this is where Serizawa has really got to stay strong. Samuel Choi has been able to increase that lead, and look at the work there from Darren Chan. He's not able to get the place back, but he has certainly got closer to the Japanese team. Right then, it's the girls, Ho Ying-chung. She's in the pool for Hong Kong. And this is Kinoshita. She's in the pool for Japan. And Daniel Moy in the pool for Singapore. So the finale will be Japan's Yamaguchi up against Chong Siu-kei for Hong Kong. The turn, 2:27.47. Midway through. The lead was 8 seconds. Now it is, it's still 7.5 seconds. She's done a great job, has Ho Ying. Daniel Moy is hanging on to the coattails of Eira Kinoshita. And this is going to be a fascinating final 100 meters. Ho Ying hands over the responsibility to Chong Siu-kei. Siu-kei is in. Siu-kei will be chased down by Yamaguchi. The lead is about 12 meters. Yamaguchi, nice long dive, and he is just going to eat up that water. Yamaguchi flying through the water, and it's almost like Siu-kei is going backwards. But credit to Siu-kei, she's realized the danger behind her. And almost like a crocodile is closing in, or she's accelerated her foot speed, but Yamaguchi will turn and kick off the wall, and Yamaguchi will emerge. But how much is Yamaguchi taken out of himself in that first lap? And now is he just toying with his prey?
Nothing like looking behind and seeing someone right behind you.
Yamaguchi looks to his right. He says, Chong Siu-kei, I've got you in my sights. We expected this to be close, and Yamaguchi and Japan are going to take this courtesy, we think, strategy. Japan take it ahead of Hong Kong. Time of 4:03.68 to 4:05.74. Singapore coming through Nicole Fu.
Just 2 seconds apart. I think that's pretty impressive.
Nicole, they're trying to beat a time of 4:39.89, which is their entry time. As a team, improve your personal best. She's got the final 5 meters to go. And I think 39.89 is going to be indeed beaten by the Singapore quartet. Indeed, it is a 36.89, 3 seconds quicker. So Singapore improve their best, but Japan come out as the top team.
I think part of it was definitely strategy, you know, keeping that last swimmer the fastest anchor. I think it played into their advantage today.
Yamaguchi was swallowing up the water, and then it was almost cruel how he was just toying with his prey on the way home. Great entertainment. Relays always are.
Relays are so fun. I never really got the chance to do relays just because the team was always so small. Might toy with the idea of just doing a relay once.
You heard it here first. Teresa Goh out of retirement. Here are the highlights, and it was the strategy. Hong Kong went off with the 2 male swimmers. It was when the girls had a healthy lead of 7.5 seconds at the 2:50 mark. By this time, it's 6.5 seconds, but the lead was soon evaporated, and Yamaguchi was able to touch home first, 2 seconds clear. Congratulations, Japan.
Always helpful when you have a really strong team filled with strong individuals.
Japan 4:03.68. Outside their team personal best, but good enough to take the victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at event number 121. This is the mixed 4x100-meter freestyle relay A finals.
Right, the 34-point category. The classifications combined must equal no more than 34 points. So Dorothy Au an S9, Wang Kei an S9, Ung Chuk Yam an S6, and Lam Lok Yi an S5.
Our second mixed relay of the night.
And in lane number 4, we have Team Japan. Let us make some noise for Kotaro Ogiwara, Kota Kubota, Mikuni Utsugi, and Hana Fukuda.
Fukuda, Utsugi, first time we've seen Mikuni Utsugi today, and Kota Kubota, so they'll be nice and fresh. Kotaro Ogiwara has already been in one final. All S8 athletes, that's interesting.
And in lane number 5, from Team New Zealand, make some noise for Gabriella Smith, Cameron Leslie, Tumo Murphy, and Jessie Reynolds.
Gabriella Smith and Cameron Leslie have already got themselves medals today. It's our first look at Jessie Reynolds and Tupu Nuifi, two S8 swimmers. Three teams in this final.
It'll be very interesting to see how the lower classification swimmers play into all of this.
Namyoki will be starting in the water. Hong Kong have got no entry time. Just 6 seconds separating New Zealand and Japan. Japan again will be favourites. They are in lane number 4. Gabriella Smith getting things underway for Team New Zealand. Now, how close will she be able to stay to Kotaro Ogiwara?
This is the big score 100-meter freestyle relay. And in the water, we have
freestyle though it is, but a backstroke obviously for Lam Yoki in lane number 3 for Hong Kong. But we are focused now here on Kotaro Ogiwara, and he is leading the way. But look at this, Gabriella Smith has really been able to stay close to Ogiwara. Gabriella, an S9 classification. But all that work in the first 50 meters, will it come back to really hurt her in the final 25? But she's hanging on in there, is Gabriella Smith, and this is a fine 75 so far by the Kiwi, Teresa Go.
She'll definitely want to try and close as much of a gap as possible for Cameron Leslie coming up.
So second in is Kota Kuboto for Japan.
Cameron Leslie is an S4, the lowest classification of this whole relay.
Wow, look at those feet. That is like a powered engine on the back of Kota Kubota. Propulsion from behind and direction and dragging with the single arm, but what a unique style. It must be absolutely shattering, and you could see he was just tiring a little bit, but he's increased the lead. Hong Kong have just come through their split in 1:33.30.
Switching over to their teammate, Dorothy, who's an S9 classification. Really powering through, trying to close up as much of the gap as possible for our team.
So Japan leading the way. Kota Kubota will pass on to Utsugi. Cameron Leslie is in the pool for New Zealand, and it's a 25-meter differential as Mikuno Utsugi has a nice, healthy lead. Cameron Leslie just has to focus on this final 15 meters. Tries to accelerate, certainly needs to be consistent. Behind them, Dorothy Au. She's just coming into the final 25 meters, but it's nearly 3/4 of a length the difference. As Tupu Nuifi makes her debut in the pool. Utsugi, meantime, is about to turn. Utsugi, an S8 competitor, as is Nuifi. And Utsugi turns in 2:40.37. Japan will pass New Zealand on the way back, which will be discouragement for New Zealand and encouragement for Japan. For Hong Kong, is that the 13-year-old Unga Chukyan in the water? I think it is, yes it is. Leg number 3. And And this is a very healthy lead, 30 meters plus. Canon Fukuda has just got to see this home nicely. 3:19.15 through 300 meters. Hong Kong go through 250 meters in 3:33.60.
New Zealand just about to swap over to their last anchor, their last swimmer.
And Tupu at 3:45.92, but nearly 40 meters to make up. And no matter how good Jessie Reynolds is, you think Canon Fukuda will just be able to ease this one home for Japan. They started out as favourites right from the very start. Ogiwara got them off to a great start. And although it's a brave effort by Jessie Reynolds, you've got to say that, the S8 competitor has taken 15 metres off the lead that was, and it's a nice turn by him. But he will run out of time, and Canon Fukuda will swim home to bring Japan safely to the wall in a time of 4:29.98, which is a quick time.
Almost 10 seconds off the seat timing.
Meantime, New Zealand, their seed time was 4:44.07. They're not going to be too far off that. They're just going to be behind it, but they will finish in 4:46.43. So New Zealand with just about the seed timing. Japan obliterated their seed timing. One more swimmer still in the pool.
And ladies and gentlemen,
Here's Wang K, sorry.
All the swimmers have obviously left everything in the pool. All of them are gasping for air at the wall.
Well, relay, there's that extra special bit of motivation as well. You can't let your teammates down. You can't be seen as the weakling.
Swimming is such a solo sport, you know, and the only time you really can be involved in the event is a relay with your team.
Chow Wan K comes through and will finish. The time is going to be, can you beat 5:30? The answer is yes, a 5:28.12 for the team of Lam Yok Yi, Dorothy Au Ung Chuk Yam and Chow Wan K. P3 for them, but the gold once again in the relays. The mixed relays goes to the Japanese, and they clearly had a lot of fun in producing that winning time. They bow to everybody, as is Japanese custom, and congratulations to them, and a wave to their teammates as well.
Congratulations to the Japanese team.
There is the flag up in the main stand.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was event number 121, the mixed
Confirmation, Ogiwara from the very first start. It was a brave effort by Gabriella Smith, but Ogiwara was able to hand over a significant lead of around about 7 seconds.
Now, on behalf of the organizing and WPS committee,
Kubota, his unique style, and that enabled Utsuga and Fukuda just to bring the team home in a very, very respectable 4:29.98.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, this event will not be possible.
Confirmation of the result, mixed 4x100 freestyle relay. For classifications accumulating to no more than 34 points. Japan taking it ahead of New Zealand. Hong Kong placed third in the -1 that is operated in the Para Swimming World Series. Hong Kong will not pick up a bronze medal. And so our activities for the second day of finals has flown by, Teresa Go.
I can't believe it. That's way too fast. How do I slow it down?
We've still got the medal ceremonies to come, and they will be coming around about 7:15. In the meantime, those who are in the venue are going to have a little bit of entertainment to keep them occupied. And Teresa will no doubt be fielding lots of people coming over to say hello to her and asking for autographs and taking a picture.
I'm surprised people even still remember me.
Ladies and gentlemen, there was a quick announcement for all our athletes and gold medals to kindly please proceed to the gym. All right, so, by the way, Tinet's over here, for those of you wondering.
Well, Teresa, for Singapore, there weren't any world records like yesterday, but I think plenty of encouragement in the way that the coaches have been able to advise the swimmers, and the swimmers have taken on board the observations of the coaches.
Definitely.
Darren Chan, for example.
Yes, I mean, we've always advocated for being better than you were yesterday, and I think the coaches all believe in that as well. It's never really always about medals, you know. There's always that journey towards ultimate success, and what does that success look for each swimmer, because not everybody is going to end up in the same place. And I think for the team, for Team Singapore, our team is really young, and as I've said many times, really excited to see the future, and the future is bright for our swimmers.
Excellent news, but the future, if it's bright for Singapore, my word, it is radiant for Colombia. Zarate with another win. He's the world record holder. He didn't get a world record here, but his teammate Nelson Corzo did get an SB6 world record in the men's 100-meter breaststroke final.
That was a really good race also. I think that was the fastest race for tonight, you know, 2,000 pointers. I mean, that just speaks for itself. You know, getting even to 900 is amazing.
Okay, come, what is your name?
So the MCs are just doing their little bit of entertainment work as the band, who are going to be playing a few tunes later on. And we will just show you a little bit of the action that has taken place this evening in the finals.
Can anyone tell me the class?
Plenty of interest in the stands, plenty of colour in the stands, plenty of flexing of the muscles as well, Teresa.
We swimmers love to flex.
What is your name?
So this is Darren Chan. We spoke about Darren, his ability to be able to improve from the morning into the afternoon. And also the Japanese contingent pushed into second place though. And young athletes, a 13-year-old picking up a bronze medal for Hong Kong.
And some world record-looking, you know, swims, fast swims.
But Zarate and Colombia, they are the ones that we've really got to look out for. And of course, we've forgotten about Sarah Vargas Blanco. She didn't pick up a gold medal today, but she did pick up another medal, bronze in colour today. Gabriella Smith with a good race. And Darren Chen, yeah, that's the reaction of the day.
That's my favorite reaction of the day. You know, it's really, swimming is all about doing well, but it's also about the people you meet in the pool and outside of it.
And just on this little montage, you're seeing the work, the effort that's being put in by the athletes. Yes, they have disabilities, but you do not take anything away from the spirit and the effort and what it means when the likes of Philippines pick up that bronze medal. And Cameron Leslie also in the medals as well. And then we got down to the freestyle, the mixed relays, which is always a little bit of fun to add to the end of the night.
Mixed relays add a little something special to the program for sure.
Competitive right to the end. Yes, world records, and Moises, we said he had a world record, didn't. We got it wrong, apologies for that, but nonetheless, Moises and Colombia, they are the ones who have got all of these celebrations to work their way through today.
Looking at the 2 days that they've had, you know, Colombia's just only going to get better tomorrow.
And then once we got to the finals, and then into the mixed relays, where Japan reign supreme. And they are some of the highlights from day 2 of the Citi Para Swimming World Series Singapore. Nice little montage showing a lot of the guts. The medal ceremony will be coming up as just a few minutes' time. Do stay with us. We are at the OCBC Aquatic Centre. Teresa Goh and Des Corkill, delighted to bring you the action. So hang around for the medal ceremony. It's coming up in not too far, 7:15, we reckon, in about 5 minutes' time.
It's also one of our young swimmers as well. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for your participation. Now, do feast your eyes right into center stage. Now, we've got a very special performance. We actually have one of the jam bands, NTU's jam bands in Singapore. Now, singing over here, we actually got Monte on vocals, we got Kaylan on vocals, we got Olivia on bass, Jonathan on the cajon, and Harris on the guitar. And they will be performing a total of 3 songs. The first song is Sunroof, the second song is Stronger, and the third one is Run Away Baby. So
I'm going to sing stronger. Like we practice.
Right, next up, ladies and gentlemen, we're going into our victory ceremony. We just want to give the band a few moments to take their star and run away, baby. Yes.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned because we will commence the victory ceremony shortly.
Of course, thank you all for joining us right here on day 2 of the Citi Para Swimming World Series Singapore 2023. And of course, this event is organized by World Para Swimming together with the Singapore Disability Sports Council, who are celebrating their 50th year in para sport this year.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are very honored to have our guest of honor to join us today. Let us put our hands together to invite Dr. Muhammad Maliki Osman. A round of applause, please. Minister in the Prime Minister's Office, Second Minister for Education and Foreign Affairs. Dr. Maliki Osman will be presenting the medals to our winners.
And of course, to accompany Dr. Muhammad Maliki Osman, we also like to invite Mr. Jefferson Cheng to join you to present our token. Now, Mr. Jefferson will be presenting our little melody, our plush toy, to all our athletes after they've received their medals. And of course, medal presentation, ladies and gentlemen, is for event number 112. This is the women's 400-meter freestyle finals. And taking their
Okay, on to the final ceremony for day 2 of the Citi Para Swimming World Series Singapore. And firstly, the women's 400-meter freestyle. And a really good day for New Zealand. Lily Fox-Mason and 2 gold medalists to go. What a fabulous effort by Sarah Vargas Blanco. She picks up her 3rd gold, and also a really good effort from Gabriella Smith, who led from the start.
Really glad I got to witness this.
Sarah Vargas Blanco alongside the 2 Kiwis. So it's gold, gold and bronze. Sarah Vargas Blanco makes it 3 out of 3, 762 points. She'll always look and say, I can improve on that. Gabriella Smith from New Zealand, a joint gold medalist, and a really, really good swim also from Lily Fox-Mason in P3.
This is the men's 400-meter freestyle.
Moving on to the men's 400 freestyle. And once again, Japan. Well, for the first time today, I should say, Japan to the fore, and this was one that you called very, very early. Ucho Tomitu said, watch out for him, he's in lane number 1. And we didn't, and he came through and took the gold medal.
Sometimes I even surprise myself.
Ogiwara it was who took bronze medal from lane number 7 for Japan.
All the swimmers getting a medal, and our mascot, Merlin.
Shimin-Su actually won the race. He touched first, but on the count back, an S11 swimmer, Uchu Tomita.
Thank you very much.
Very, very happy young fella. Actually, he's 33 years of age now. Uchu, just coming into the prime of his career. So gold and bronze for Japan. Tomita and Ogiwara. And a very, very well-earned silver for Chinese Taipei. Japanese flag. Very prominent and right in the eye line of all the Japanese team, as are the Singapore cheerleaders.
The women's 50-meter backstroke.
Women's 50-meter backstroke. Singaporean interest in the 50 backstroke. Yip Pin Xiu, can she get another world record, we asked. The answer was sadly no.
But still a really good time for Pin Xiu. Just close to a minute.
And look at little Angel May Otom from the Philippines. Is there a prouder recipient of a gold medal today? Look at that beaming smile from Angel May Otom.
That smile is just shining through. to the screen. I can feel her happiness from here.
That's gorgeous.
Ladies and gentlemen, event number 114, women's 50-meter backstroke, bringing home the bronze medal representing Greece. We have Alexandra Tomatopoulos.
Alexandra Stratomatopoulou. She is always smiling. She was involved in a final later on as well. And then the Singaporean queen, Yip Pin Xiu, silver. Yip Pin Xiu. I'm not sure that smile will ever come off Angel May's face.
It might get stuck. But well deserved. That was a great swim by Angel.
That was the women's 50-meter backstroke final, classes S1 through to S5. Alexandra from Greece, 696 points, 994 points for Angel May. She's got a great future in this sport, hasn't she?
For sure, I'm excited to see such a young talent.
Yip Pin Xiu has some potential competition, but the Singapore flag will still remain flying high for Yip Pin Xiu. Men's 50-meter backstroke final, and this was fabulous once again. You called this very early. Look out for lane number 6. Cameron Leslie, said Teresa Go. And lane number 6, Cameron Leslie, is the guy who came through. It's like you know what you're doing, Teresa.
It's like the years of swimming has made something out of my brain.
But Japan's Eigo Tanaka and Keidi Henita, they were touching first and second respectively. Tanaka, who's 19 years of age. Henita, 18 years of age. So again, two young lads who have got a potential in this increasingly competitive para-swimming World Series atmosphere.
But
Cameron Leslie is the gold medalist.
Definitely, it was Cameron Leslie to look at. You know, the first ranked swimmer in his classification. I knew he was going to do amazing.
Outside world record time, but anything in the high 900s is really something to be very, very proud of. Men's 50-meter backstroke final as the VIPs have a look on. Well, thanks to all the sponsors whose names are emblazoned in the boards behind the medal winners. So bronze and silver for Japan, gold for New Zealand.
Definitely could not have done all this without the sponsors. These are Pin Xiu and my friends on the screen, showing the support for us.
Now this is onto the women's 100-meter breaststroke final. And again, more Japanese interest, but the 13-year-old Eun Chuk-yan, what a great performance by the Hong Kong swimmer. She picks up bronze medal.
Sometimes it's looks, you think someone who's so small will not be able to move that fast, but you know, it just shows that her feel of the water is just that good.
955 points for her, 960 for Ira Kinoshita. Now these two had a great race, Kinoshita and the gold medalist Mikika Serizawa. 1:18.38 the winning time, 965 points. But they'll be very aware that there's a 13-year-old knocking very loudly on the door. We're going to see a lot of that flag in this medal ceremony. Serizawa with gold, Kinoshita with bronze, and Eun Chuk-yan with the bronze.
Very clearly, some nations are just a little bit more outstanding in this WPS.
This is the men's 100-meter breaststroke.
Men's 100 breaststroke final. As with everything, this was competitive, but this was probably the one that got us out of our spirits raised more than anything else, because we had a world record and we had another gold for Carlos Zarate. But the world record for Nelson Corzo in the SB6 category, 992 points accumulated.
Our only race so far with over 1,000 points for 2 of the swimmers.
So you set a world record, you still don't win the race. You get over 1,000 points and you only get silver.
Isn't that interesting?
Nahide Yamaguchi, 1,024 points, a time of 104.42 for the men's 100 breaststroke. But the star of the Citi Para Swimming World Series is this fella, Carlos Zarate. 111.73, 1,067 points accumulated for the current world record holder.
Continues to do well in the pool and doesn't look at stopping anytime soon.
Zarate gold, Yamaguchi silver, Kozo a world record and bronze. The marching tunes to support the flag waving.
The women's 50-meter breaststroke.
3 athletes competed for the 50 women's breaststroke. And a remarkable performance, sensational performance from Teresa Perales.
Ladies and gentlemen,
As you can see, she is really struggling, but she worked so hard. Those final 10 meters, she just pulled in. Chi Ping Peng overtook her and won the race in a time of 2:04.62.
You can tell she dug really deep to just finish that race.
Lovely glowing smile.
Teresa Perales continues to give back in her country also. She's a politician in Spain.
Talk about keeping yourself busy.
Talk about overachiever.
Women's 50-meter breaststroke. Also a mention for Alexander Stamatopoulou from Greece, who came in 3rd, but in the -1 that is operated by Citi Para Swimming World Series. If there's only 3 competitors, not all 3 can get the medal. Which I'm not sure I agree with, but it's part of the deal, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes they do change that a little bit, but I think it depends on the host country.
And ladies and gentlemen, congratulations on the gold medalist.
And the gold medal in the men's 50 breaststroke final. Takayuki Suzuki tired a little bit in the last 25 meters. He was on to try to get close to the 46.1 world record time that he might need, but nonetheless, Takayuki Suzuki gets that flag a little bit more exposure.
Representing the medalists for event number 119, the men's.
The other competitor in the men's 50 breaststroke was Van Hiep Ha from Vietnam, who finished in a time of 106.02, accumulating 266 points, but the gold to Suzuki. Then the relays, which are always a fabulous, exciting way to end a night's entertainment. This is night 2 of 3 of the Para Swimming World Series Singapore. Join us again tomorrow. Silver medal.
And out come more medals for the teams.
This is the mixed 4x100 freestyle S14 swimmers. So for Hong Kong, Wang Hon-yin, Samuel Chui, Ho Ying Chung and Chong Siu Kei. But we're going to see that flag again.
Japan is unstoppable.
They had a different strategy. They finished with Yamaguchi swimming the last leg, and he was able to haul in a 6-second deficit. Shunya Murakami, Makika Serizawa, Ira Kinoshita and Nahide Yamaguchi with the medals. Take care of that Merlion, young fella.
I think this year's mascot is the cutest I've ever seen. What do you think?
You would be biased, but it's perfect for Singapore, isn't it?
It is.
Perfect. And there's enough water that the water doesn't have to become spewing out of the mouth.
You can create your own.
And the final event of day 2 of the finals. 4x100 freestyle relay for the 34-point accumulation category. Again, there were 3 teams in the final: Hong Kong, Japan and New Zealand. New Zealand were just about on point with their timing. See Cameron Leslie once again involved, as is Gabriella Smith. And good to see medals for Tupanuufi and Jessie Reynolds. Our first look at them in this para-swimming series event.
So all of the swimmers have their individual classifications that add up to 34 points or below, and none of the teams actually
took all
maxed
34
out.
points, yeah.
Exactly. So they still had a little bit more that they could have worked with.
So that's New Zealand, but once again, gold goes to Japan. And a different category, a different way they did it. They went boy, boy, girl, girl to win this one. Lead from the front, Ogiwara led the way. Kubota, a fabulous leg from Kubota, whose swimming style, all kicks. And Mikuno Otsugi and Kanon Fukuda completing the really good efforts from Japan, who won both of the mixed relay events. There's the flag one final time.
For the night. Smiles all around. Amazing performances by the swimmers tonight.
It's always a positive way to end a day's work, with smiles and medals. It makes the trip worthwhile. Not forgetting those who don't get on the podium. Individual bests has been the story of the day for Singapore. Improvement from morning heats into afternoon finals. Very much the story for Singapore. And with that, we bid you adieu from the OCBC Aquatic Centre. Fabulous international world-class venue. Japan wave to their fans. Teresa Goh and Des Corkill say our goodbyes as well until 9 o'clock tomorrow when the heats begin for day 3. Final thoughts on today, Teresa Goh?
Again, I think I'm really pleased with everybody's performances. Really excited for tomorrow. I can't believe the 2 days are gone already. It's going to be day 3, our final day tomorrow. Come join us at the OCBC Aquatic Centre if you can. And we'll see you.
It is a May Day holiday, and we will be working hard to bring you the entertainment. Fill up these stands tomorrow, everyone. $10 to get in. We start at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Finals at 5:30. See you tomorrow.